think that I have enough testosterone to supply 3 men. I love the idea that I can shave and lift heavy objects. In my free time, chop wood, fish, hike, hunt, and take things apart. I consider myself a man. Since I was little, maybe the age of 5, I wanted to be in the military, specifically a Marine. We played war like every group of little boys always did. I would always declare myself as a Marine and be able to stab people with sticks if I got close enough because, well, the Marines they're still issued bayonets. So as I came of age, I decided I would join. I always pictured that as the manliest thing I could do, even tougher than walking in the woods, catching my food, or dipping skull. I also have 2 younger brothers who love sports, and they're good at them. They're tough in that sense. But they don't try hard to be in nature and be manly. One brother, he's a sophomore in high school. When I was his age, I had a beard. He doesn't. He's a little less manly in that sense. But anyway, I sat down with him and my mom one day because they were worried about my decision to become a Marine, to join the military. They were scared that I would get sent away to war, suffer injury or death, or that I would change as a person, become violent and brainwashed. My brother then said something that was really powerful to me. He said he wants to be able to support the troops and that idea the best that he can. But he can't relate because he doesn't have that hunger to be manly. He would never be able to voluntarily put himself through the hell of basic training. He wanted to know what he could do to support me and support the troops. It hit me then that it isn't about the actions people take to support the troops, but more the attitude they have. I'm not here to talk politics or speak of people fighting to liberate our country in the 1700s. I won't talk about those who fought to unify our country from segregation. I also won't speak of what the world gains from the service of the men and women who fought in the world wars. I won't discuss soldiers who worked to liberate other countries so they can enjoy freedom. And I won't speak of the soldiers who were spit upon and taunted as they returned home from the hellish war called Vietnam. I won't point fingers at those who caused the war, whether it be terrorists, politicians, or American citizens. I look to inform you why your attitude supports the troops, not your actions. I understand that war is cruel, and often more political than we wish. I understand that not everyone wants to support the idea of death, killing, and pain. But they feel there's a conflict of interest by supporting the men and women involved in it. But you only need to appreciate the fact these men and women believe in something, have a sense of pride, and are willing to fight for what they think is right, and hold themselves to a higher standard than most. Not the fact that they're out there putting themselves on the line and also taking lives. You don't need to support war or death, but simply support these men and women in having something they believe in. They're willing to give it all for something they feel strongly in, yet there are people who discourage them from that. Go ahead and hate the war, but don't hate the kids who are standing up for what they think is right. I'm sure many of you guys played sports or took part in some sort of activity when you were young, whether it was baseball, dance, theater, softball, soccer, any of that. How would you have felt if somebody hated you for that? They refused to support you. You were ridiculed and hated because you believed in baseball and you loved playing it, and that you were put down for that. If any of you guys have kids already or will in the future, won't you feel a sense of pride in that? That you will always stand up for your child? No matter what that means. These people, these soldiers, they're always willing to stand up for their country, no matter what it means. Almost an example would be having school spirit. You guys have all been in high school, and now college. Do you remember your pep rally in high school, or tailgating at your school sporting events? People go above and beyond normal, like what's considered normal, to show pride in their school and raise school spirit. Actually, for our school's pep rally, my senior year, we wore crazy outfits, like spandex and sports bras. It was ridiculous. But, we went above and beyond for school spirit. And I see that at all kinds of sporting events, college football especially, college basketball. People will paint their entire bodies, just because they have a sense of pride in their school. They're trying to raise spirits. And when people argue, it's because, well, when you argue with somebody, it's because you're stubborn. And you know you're right. Well, at least you think you're right. The men and women in the military are doing the same thing. They're fighting or arguing for what they think is right. I don't think any of you can try to argue with me that you shouldn't support that, because then you'd be doing the same thing. I'd have to call you a hypocrite, because, well, you'd be arguing and fighting that. And these men and women, they hold themselves to a very high standard. Whether it be with the law, the way they look, act in public, the way they're represented. I actually have 2 tattoos, and it took 2 months almost for me to get waivers for them to be able to join the military. That's how high of a standard they hold themselves to. I don't have anything obscene tattooed on my body. And, anyway, so in conclusion, you don't have to do anything to support the troops. There is no need for everyone out there to help organize a rally or collect donations or stand on the side of the highway with a sign. There's always room for a few people to take action like that. But everyone else should just realize that these young men and women are simply doing what you do every day. They have pride. They believe in something. They have spirit. And they're stubborn. And they're going to fight for their point. So just support them in being people and doing what they feel is right. Doing what you do every day. Not as war machines or killers.